What's the cost of worldliness? Welcome to this, your daily 180 Bible study. Thank you for being part of this study, and thank you for sharing this study with your friends. This week we're talking about like all the other nations, like the nations that are around us. That's what the people wanted in the days of Samuel. In 1 Samuel chapter 8, we're looking at that this week. They wanted to be like all the nations around them. We have that desire sometimes, don't we? We want to be like everybody else. We don't want to be the oddballs. We want to dress like them. We want to talk like them. We want to live like them. We want to go out and do the things that they do, even if it means going against the will of God. Because after all, we don't want to be oddballs. We want to be acceptable to the world around us. But you know what? When we strive to be like all the other nations, when we strive to be worldly people, we really put ourselves in the place of enslavement. And the reality is, if that's where we want to go, God will allow it. He tells Samuel in verse number 9, "Now therefore heed their voice, however you shall solemnly forewarn them and show them the behavior of the king who will reign over them." So Samuel goes and he tells the people, okay, you want a king? Here's what will happen. And I want you to notice this, beginning at verse number 11. "This will be the behavior of the king who will reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for his chariots and horsemen." And he goes on, so he's going to take your sons. Drop down to verse number 13. "He will take your daughters to be perfumers, cooks, and bakers." So he's going to take your sons, he's going to take your daughters. Look at verse 14. "And he will take the best of your fields." So he's going to take the best of the fields. Verse number 15. "He will take a tenth of your grain and your vintage." So he's going to take that, and he's going to take your sons, he's going to take your daughters, he's going to take the best of your fields, he's going to take a tenth of your grain. Verse number 16. "And he will take your male servants and your female servants." Did you get that? What we're hearing here, what's this king going to do? When you want to be like all the nations around us, what's going to happen? He will take, he will take, he will take, he will take, he will take. And ultimately, look at verse 17. "And he will take a tenth of your sheep, and you will be his servants." Verse 18. "And you will cry out in that day because your king, whom you have chosen for yourselves, and the Lord will not hear you in that day." Absolute slavery. That's what worldliness is. Join us again tomorrow.